Chapter 11, Giving Good Gifts. Matthew 2:11. They entered the house and saw the child with Mary his mother. Falling to their knees, they honored him. Then they opened their treasure chests and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Matthew 2:11. We don't know how many wise men came to honor Jesus, but we do know that they brought 3 gifts. Gold was a fitting gift for a king's coronation. Frankincense was used by priests as they worshiped on behalf of the people. Myrrh was used as an embalming agent, foreshadowing Jesus' early death. How happy is every American Christian child, as well as every good shop owner, toy builder, and clothing manufacturer, that these wise men brought gifts. Christmas has become synonymous with gift giving. There are years I've been tempted to stop giving gifts, wanting to rid my family of greed, but I'm convinced that is not the answer. One of the most tangible ways to show our love and honor for another person is to give a gift. Gifts are not inherently bad. It may be time, however, to take some pointers from the wise men and shepherds to make gifts more meaningful than wasteful. The shepherds gave the first gift to Mary and Joseph. They celebrated together. They threw a party on the night of Jesus' birth. My friends Rose and David are my go-to people for rejoicing. Years ago, I learned that if I had a joy or victory to share, Rose would shout and laugh with me. When my husband and I moved to the Chicago area for graduate school, it was Rose and David who not only helped pack the moving truck in Lansing, Michigan on the coldest day of the year, but also rode with us to Chicago and helped us unpack on the other end. Did I mention it was the coldest day of the year? Though they had to say goodbye, they supported and celebrated the new steps we were taking. Rose was the person I would call when I received an A on a paper because I knew she would not think I was boasting. She celebrated my accomplishment right with me, making the joy even sweeter. When I share the good with both Rose and David, I never sense jealousy. I sense shared excitement. Together we marvel at the works of God, the payoffs to hard work, and the surprises that come from both. Who have you celebrated with lately? The wise men brought gold. This represents both a gift of practical value and lavish extravagance. This may have been the first real gold the carpenter and his wife had ever received. It may have been worth very little to the wise men compared to their net worth. Some commentators on the Gospels have guessed that what Mary and Joseph thought was an extravagant gift may have come in very handy as they fled the country. The gold bought their way to safety in a new country with different monetary exchanges, and where Joseph would have to establish his reputation as a carpenter in order to provide for his family. The extravagant and practical come together in a beautiful story from International Child Care Ministries. There's a man in his 80s who sponsors 109 children scattered across a dozen countries. Last we heard, he still goes to work every day in order to support these children. Even more remarkable is that he has arranged for their sponsorship to continue after he goes to be with the Lord. What an extravagant gift that impacts individuals, families, and communities for decades to come. To whom have you given extravagantly? The wise men also brought frankincense and myrrh. These gifts symbolically matched up with Jesus' role as our great high priest and sacrificial lamb. They were gifts that spoke to his identity. We've all received the gift from Great Aunt Lou, 2 sizes too big in a color we hate. Clear evidence that Great Aunt Lou knows nothing about us. The most significant gifts I have received are the opposite. They show how much a person knows me. When I was ordained in the Free Methodist Church, my friend Sue bought me a gift certificate for a retreat at my favorite retreat center. This reflected the attention she had given to our conversations, the love I had for personal retreats, and the need I would have as a minister to retreat with God regularly. As we give gifts, even at Christmas time, taking the time to consider what gift would clearly match the person, make a gift both meaningful and memorable. What gift have you given that shows you know who the person is and what they love? Rather than giving up gift giving, Christmas time is the perfect time to consider the impact a gift can have on another person. Giving gifts that match the person, giving gifts that are extravagant and practical, giving gifts of celebrating with others are all ways to continue the gift-giving tradition of Christmas. Remember, too, the example of the shepherds and the wise men in that they gave to strangers. It's easy for us to give gifts to those we know and love intimately. Maybe Jesus is also calling us to learn to give gifts to those in a wider circle around us. The ICCM sponsor will never meet the children he has supported so faithfully. Yet God has expanded his family to include members from around the world. God may be calling you to expand your family this year as well. My friend Beth is a natural giver with a gift for hospitality. In the beginning months of our English as a Second Language class, she enjoyed introducing our international friends to American holidays. She brought in decorations, holiday food, and a spirit of fun. At the end of the first full year of class, she decided to pull out all the stops and host a New Year's Eve party at our church. She provided transportation, food, and fun from 7 p.m. until midnight when we shouted in the new year together. That party became a tradition in our international community, dancing until we dropped. We played silly games and we celebrated life together here in the United States. Beth has expanded her family by celebrating with others, giving extravagantly, and offering a meaningful place to belong. Like the shepherds and the wise men, she gave good gifts. As you give and receive gifts this year, take a few extra minutes to pray over the people and the gifts. Consider the impact a meaningful or extravagant gift might make to someone you love. As you attend all the mandatory holiday parties, look for ways to connect with people and celebrate the joys in their lives. Pray over who God might be asking you to include in your family. Let the tradition of gift giving take on new meaning this year for you and those around you. 3 action points. Think about what is the best gift you have ever received. What is the best gift you have ever given? Read Romans 12 for a challenging description of the kind of relational gifts we are called to give to one another as children of God. Make a list of each gift and reflect on whether you have ever given that gift to someone else. Giving tangible gifts is an expression of love.